All right, we are live. Hello and welcome, everybody. I am Brandon from Bad Tech and Gaming, here with two other people actually making the bad in Bad Tech and Gaming. We have Scott and Rylor. I don't know if you want to use your actual name or not. That's up to you. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing all right. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I agree.
So, with that being said, what are we doing here? This is the Bad Cast, where we bring the latest and greatest, what we think, tech and gaming news to you. Beyond that, this is where we bring our passions to life through YouTube. So consider subscribing as we go throughout this podcast or broadcast or YouTube stream, whatever you would like to consider it. Anyway, without further ado, we'll go ahead and move a little bit forward. So we have our Apple TV Plus. Now, this is something that pretty much just recently came out, something that's been interesting to me a lot, as there's a lot of competitors coming out with TV services. You know, you always had Netflix, Hulu. Now you have, like Disney Plus coming in, and Apple TV Plus being the Netflix-like subscription that it is. It's launching on Friday at $5 a month. Now, do you guys know anything about Apple TV Plus just before we get kind of like rolling with this?
Well, look, so they're really trying to go head to head with some of the new competitors out there like Disney Plus. They're also trying to go head to head with some of the existing ones like Amazon Prime and Hulu and some of those others out there, YouTube TV and whatnot. The reality is Apple is, they're going to do a good job because they do a good job at just about everything they do.
Yeah.
The problem is that first you need to have a box.
Yeah.
So with every other streaming service that I use, I can put it on my smart TV. I can put it on my Roku. I can put it on my Fire Stick. I can do whatever I need to do on my TV. Right.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy anything extra for it. It just works. I just download the app and off I go. With this, I need an Apple TV box. And I knowing Apple, right, that's because they want to control every aspect of the experience. Yeah. They don't want any kind of open APIs and things like that. That's going to limit who's going to buy that box. I don't know how much the box is going to cost. So I haven't seen that price yet. But $5 a month will give me access on my iPad and that sort of thing. So that's kind of nice. But I can get that with all the other services as well. Then we look at the content. They've got some new content, some originals out there. That's great. I know that.
I'm looking at some of those now. You have like C. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Right.
For All Mankind, some stuff like that. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, some of these titles look really good. But then you look at a service like Disney Plus, which, by the way, we're only 14 days until that launches. So looking forward to that. Everything on there is original Disney content, right? And so some of it's been out for a while, granted, but they have some new content as well. Yeah. And then so they've got just a ton of content that Apple's going to take a while to build up a library like that. So what are you really getting for $5 a month? You're going to get a few good shows. You're going to watch them and then you're going to be done and you're going to leave unless Apple can really pump out the content quickly. So that's kind of my problem with it. I'm not a fan yet. Doesn't mean I won't be later. But get an app. I don't want to buy the box. Get an app. Let me download the app and then I might try it out.
Now,
what about you, Dave?
Oh, I was just going to say, I did hear that eventually they're going to use an app for it. I think it's not on the initial launch, but at some point in time, they're going to do so. And then when you say it's on only a box, I agree with you on that. But at the same time, it's also going to be on your phone, on your iPad, which is where the majority of people watch this kind of stuff anyways. So that's pretty cool as far as the Apple TV is concerned, whether the Apple Plus is concerned, whether it's worth the price or not. Especially compared to some of these other services, is a whole nother story.
Right.
Yeah. Good news is they're coming in at a lower price, right? $5 a month is a little less than $7 a month. That's what Disney's charging for their service. I just think you're getting a whole lot more with the Disney service than you are with this. Netflix, Netflix has been around for a while. They can charge the $18 a month that they're charging for their streaming service. They've got a ton of content, original and otherwise. Amazon Prime's a no-brainer. The shipping alone is worth the price of admission. And then some of the original content that they have is sort of like icing on the cake. Like, for example, what's the new one or the season 2 coming out this Friday? Jack Ryan, right? So yeah. I'm so looking forward to that. Season 1 was great. So, we'll see how Apple compares with some of these other services. It may be a little bit of a slow start, but Apple is nothing if they're not persistent, and I expect them to catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah. I just don't know that Apple Plus is going to be something that the mainstream really, really wants to get into. So at least not yet. And when I say not yet, I mean probably not for a while, because you have others that are going to dominate this particular field. Netflix already does, but you also have Disney, who's coming in and just beating everybody. You have the people who've already been there, the newcomers. So it's going to get so crowded so fast. The only reason why people are going to be interested in this is just because it's $5 a month and they can just put it on their Apple Card or whatever. And by the way, just real quick, Cody Saunders actually joined up. It says, "Who are you with?" Well, these are the other bad tech and gaming, affiliates, founding fathers. We have Scott and Rylor here, who you can find Rylor on Discord, and Scott is technically my dad, so I'm just gonna call him Dad because it's really weird to keep calling him Scott. But anyway,
that's why I'm the D in bad, right? Brandon, Alex, and then D is me
and Dad. But yeah, so
and
that's
Dave's
my thoughts.
The uncle.
Yes. Now also, I've noticed on here, they keep saying stuff like, if you look on the screen, you should be able to see it says celebrities show off their new Apple TV Plus series. So it's like they're trying to appeal. I don't know who they're trying to appeal to with this. Like, I guess they're just people who are a fan of these particular celebrities. I guess that's just where they're going.
I was just going to say, I had looked at a little bit of this, and there's actually been a lot of production issues with the Apple TV. I know that they've canceled some of their celebrities that they were having make stuff specifically because it was a little too risque. So they're really trying to drive towards more like a Disney Plus fan base. And given the content that they have, I don't really see it either. Yeah. So that's definitely going to be, it's going to be weird to see how they come up with it. It's either going to be an interesting one-off, or they're going to keep putting money into it, which they can because it's Apple. And eventually it's going to be something that's worth following. But it's definitely geared more towards the Apple Plus viewership and less towards just the general person.
Yes. And, I'm just looking through these little snippets that they have here. The little trailer things that they have here on their website. There's actually two things that look pretty good. These look like they're almost movie quality budgets, like C with Jason Momoa. That actually looks genuinely interesting. I wish it would play the little screen cap again, but it looks interesting. And then For All Mankind kind of caught my attention too. And they look like they could have movie budgets. And if that's the case, they might actually be pretty decent shows.
Well, I would say.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was just going to say, I will say, as far as production is concerned, I think it was one of these TV shows has as much of a production value as Game of Thrones did. And those were some of the more expensive TV shows out there. So they do have a lot of production value into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, that's the thing is Apple is they've got some bucks laying around, right? They're one of the most valuable companies in the world. So if they can afford to, if anyone can afford to put a quality production together, it would be Apple. By the way, the Apple TV box, $180. So if you do want to watch it on your big screen TV, that's going to be the damage, $180. And
and I had gone
again, that seems a little expensive. Roku doesn't cost that much. FireCube doesn't cost that much. I get 4K with all those. So give me an app.
Yep. And I was looking on Apple, you can find a 32 gigabyte model for $150, looking at Walmart for $199, Best Buy for $150. So I guess maybe there's some deals that can go on for some, but I don't like the biggest thing that I'm not a fan of here is the fact that, it's you have to pay for a device. Like if I don't want to pay for a device, I want to get it on my phone. That's where I watch most of my stuff nowadays. And then I cast it to my TV, which is beneficial. But for the most part, everything's on my phone or tablet.
Yeah, and if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, you're good to go. But if you got an Android, you're gonna have some trouble.
It's definitely an Apple product for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, also continuing with the Apple trend, and then we'll go to yours, Dad, and we'll have honorable mentions in between. But we actually have the Apple AirPods Pro. So Apple did something a little sneaky. So we've been getting these leaks the last couple of weeks, and we covered one last week. If you guys didn't catch that, in last week's podcast, we captured that. But they were rumored to have AirPods with rubber nibs on them. And I've watched a couple of different reviews on these. I think, you know what? These things are the real deal. Normally, I've been hating on Apple AirPods for a very long time. These are actually the first ones that I actually believe in. Now, do you guys know anything about these?
Yeah, I mean, everything we talked about was a couple weeks ago. Seems like most of that is true. And I got to say, I do like these better than the original AirPods. However, it still has that crazy looking thing hanging out of your ear. I'm not a big fan of that. I know why they're doing it, but it seems like Logitech and Google and several other manufacturers, Samsung, they've figured out how to not have that thing hanging out of your ear. I'm not sure why Apple still has it. So that's my only downfall.
Well, and one thing I like about this is it's much smaller. So the little, I guess, stem is much smaller. They increase, so it's got a bigger driver inside the earbud. So it's a better sound, better bass that you're getting to it. You also get active noise canceling. So if you look at the little rubber nibs here, so normally in a headphone, you have a piece that comes out. I don't know if you can see the mouse, but it comes out to about here. And then the actual ear nib goes over that. Well, there is no hard piece on there, meaning you should be able to wear this for much longer periods of time. In fact, the headphones that I have on right now, heck, you can see they come, I don't know if you can see this or not, but they actually come all the way out into your ear. So that's actually what's delivering it right into your ear. These do not do that, but they still offer you the same noise canceling, which is, I think that's a very cool design. And hopefully they don't break off easily, but I watched one of the ladies do a review on it, and it worked really well. She was able to snap it off, but she couldn't tug it off, or like she couldn't just pull it off easy. She had to actually put some force into it. So yeah, overall, just thought it was something kind of cool that we happened to cover a couple weeks ago. Now, Dave, do you have any opinions on these? Were you on when we got to talk about these last time?
I don't think I was on last time, but I mean, it's kind of the standard fare as far as, from the Samsung ones earlier and stuff like that. They're trying to compete in the wireless, headphone space. It's very similar to those. It's got the noise canceling, the transparency where you can actually hear other people and adjust the volume and stuff like that. The nubs, I understand, are pretty important. I know when I use my pair of them, I did not like it at all. It felt like a plastic thing sitting in your ear, and it just was horrible feeling. So the battery life seems a little low on it. I think I read somewhere that it was like 4 hours, which seems
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours, but that's without, I think, the noise canceling and stuff like that. It's like 4 hours with and 5 hours without, something like that. So that seems a little low to me, but then again, 4 hours is still pretty good for a wireless headphone.
Yeah. Well, and I think the benefit is that you can charge it up. So it's more than 24 hours if you use the little box that it comes in, a little charging case.
And that's the same thing with the Samsungs.
Mm-hmm. And you get up to 1 hour of listening time and only 5 minutes of charging.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I will say my buds have more than 4.5 hour listening time. And
which ones do you have?
The Samsung buds.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. And on a flight from where I'm at to Oregon, it's about 5.5 hours. So my buds will last, Apple's will not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I got that. Now, I think that they're going to be good, especially they continue the trend of open up, connect, super easy. Now, also, one thing I liked that these do, so they actually kind of detect whether or not using the right size earbuds. So I'm just go back up to that. Actually, there might be something that tells us about it. However, what you do is you plug them into your ear, you say, hey, well, you click a button and it actually kind of tunes it for you. It says, hey, you have a good seal around your ear, or no, you do not have a good seal. These are not going to be optimal for noise canceling. Try the bigger or smaller ones. And I think that's kind of cool. Of course, you're paying $250 for these pair of earbuds. To tell you whether or not they are, good or not, they better do something like that for $250. But overall, some nice little features that they get, some nice innovations that you get with the ear nibs and make them more comfortable. I'm still out to hear what the sound sounds like and see if they're any good, but so far, so good. I like what they're doing. I like the direction they're heading in, and I don't usually say that about Apple products. So that's something new for me. Okay, now we can move on to Dad, your screen cap. If you want to pull that up, and I'm going to do in the meantime our honorable mentions. So you can disable my screen, and then there's yours. Okay, so honorable mentions. Now these are a few things that we have that we either talked about last stream, we had talked about in the past, maybe some dates that are coming up, some things to keep an eye on as we go through this particular week or month or next couple of months. So we have Disney Plus. Now Disney Plus launches. Now that's November 12th, correct? I believe that's November 12th, or is that the 19th?
November 12th.
November 12th. We did discuss that on a previous video. We also have, excuse me, Google Stadia launching on the 19th of November. So keep an eye out for that. We will be trying to do our best to cover that live. Maybe we can do it in a stream form, some sort of review form. So keep an eye out for that. Now that comes in, I believe, we don't know exactly when we're going to get that in. That's kind of like a, hey, you ordered this, you get it in the time that you ordered it compared to everybody else that ordered. So you're in line. Good luck when you get it. So we'll see how quickly that comes out. And then also, we haven't really heard anything else about any of the other Google products that had launched with it. So those dates are still up in the air. Hit the website if you want. We have all those dates on the website and our future videos posted up, what we're going to do when we're going to do it. So that'll help you keep up with everything bad tech and gaming. Anyway, moving forward, would you like to cast your screen?
Yeah, just one thing on the Stadia. So there's a little bit of disappointing news here. So the Founders Editions that you order. So first of all, when they launch, you're only going to be able to play it either on a Pixel device, and I believe only the Pixel phones. I'm not sure you can even do it on the Pixel Chromebook, right? Oh. But the Pixel phones you can, all the way from 2 up. So any of those will be able to play it, and then only the Chromecast Ultra will be compatible. So, originally they were saying you can play it on anything with a Chrome browser. Yeah, that will be true, but it will not be true on day one. So you have to have those things. So, I ordered Founders Edition months ago. I don't know where I'm at in the queue of that, but they are going to start shipping those things out. First people that ordered it will get it on launch day, but even some of the Founders people who ordered may not get it until days after launch. So it's a little bit disappointing that that's how they're rolling it out. I got to be honest, I was thinking I would have it now. Yeah. So I can get it set up. It's going to take time for me to set up the Chromecast on the TV and do all my programming of my
at least get you the Chromecast Ultra
and stuff. Yeah, send the equipment now. Let me hook it up. So what if I can't play Stadia yet? At least I'll have it ready when it comes out, and I can enable it, and off it goes. So
maybe a missed opportunity.
Yes, absolutely a missed opportunity. Google's usually a little better than that. I'm a little disappointed this time, but I'm going to withhold judgment until the date gets here, and I don't have it, and then I'll have more of an opinion, I'm sure.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and we'll do our best to keep the live coverage up for that as we go through. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and shoot us a comment if you think we're doing a good, bad, or just okay job, whatever you want. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so boy, this is a fuzzy. I don't know if it's fuzzy to you guys, but it's not. Yeah, it is. Good. Brand, maybe you want to pull it up on your screen. Can you do that? Maybe it'll be better.
Yep, I'm trying to get
there. It's just DJI.com, and then you just click on the Mavoc Mini. But we're going to talk about the Mavoc Mini today. So this was a leak until this morning. They had their their Fly As You Are campaign this morning. Hey, there we go.
That's much better.
Is that you? Okay.
Yeah,
good,
that's
it
me.
is. All right. So they had their Fly As You Are event this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. Pacific time, and they launched their Mavic Mini. So here's what I know about the Mavic Mini. The Mavic Mini is a very small version of the Mavic, and the big difference between this and, say, the Spark is the Mavic has the collapsible wings, so you can kind of tuck these away in a pocket. If you want to scroll up and actually watch video, no, the other direction. There you go. Yeah, watch video. There you go. So you can see this is actually a pretty good. Mute the audio on that.
Sorry.
But you kind of get the idea of how small this thing is. This is totally going to be for the novice flyer that does not want a bunch of complicated things to learn to fly a drone. It's coming with a remote. The remote will have the ability to put the phone on it, just like the Spark and some of the other Mavics as well. My understanding is it's not using the proper radio structure, so you can't use their advanced remote that has the screen built into it, that's a little bit disappointing. Maybe there's an upgrade for that later, but I don't think the radio is the right type, so I don't think it's ever going to get there. The other disappointment for me was that it only shoots 4 or 2.7K or 2.5K video, not 4K. I'm not sure why they didn't put 4K in. It looks to me like it's using the same camera as the DJI Osmo Pocket, which does shoot 4K 60 frame per second video. So I really don't know why they didn't get 4K in. 2.5K is just slightly better than 1080p.
Yeah.
So at least it's better than that. But that was a little disappointing. Enough with the bad news. Here's the really good news. The best thing about this, it's 249 grams. That may not seem like a big deal to most people.
Now,
when you hit 250 grams, you've got to register the device with the FAA in the United States.
I actually I looked up a video on it, and I actually heard that. I didn't know that you had to register a lot of these drones now. Of course, that might just be me being dumb, but and hi, Dark Ash, how are you? But yeah, that's actually a big deal. You don't have to register this. Anybody could use this then.
That's right. And what they're really trying to do now, there is a little bit of a disappointment in they're not using the DJI Go, DJI Go 4 app. It looks like they've put a new app out for it, which, there's good and bad. Everything else uses Go 4. This doesn't use Go 4. It's going to use some special app. But again, they're going for the casual user. They're basically going to use this as a really, really advanced selfie stick. Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's what they're going for here. But the specs on it are actually really good. Now, it does have one upgrade that it does have that I really like, that I wish my Spark had, is it has a 3-axis gimbal. So people are probably like, well, what's the difference between a 3-axis gimbal and a 4-axis gimbal? Let me show you. I can actually have props today. This is my DJI Spark, and you can see, if I can get it close enough, there's the camera. I don't know if it's blurry or not. Okay, so there's the camera, and it has a gimbal this way, right? And then it has a gimbal this way. That is the 2-axis gimbal. That's it. That's the stabilization that you get. Now, that's pretty good. Not going to say it's bad, but if you really want it, you're going to get the 4-axis gimbal. The 4-axis gimbal, here is my DJI Osmo Pocket, and you will see it when it fires up that it has 3 axes, right? So it actually does. Let me just close it back down so I can do this.
Hold on, let's get you real quick on the screen a little bit bigger. Let's just do a solo show for you. There you go.
All right. So the 3-axis gimbal, you have 1 axis this way, right? 1 axis this way, and then the 3rd axis is this way. So that gives you a lot more stable flight. There's a couple of videos out on YouTube, 3-axis drone flight versus 2-axis drone flight. And if you really, really want to get that good cinematic smooth shot as you're kind of positioning the drone, you're going to go with 3-axis. The And the Mavic Mini has it, which I think is a great upgrade. And I'm really hoping Spark 2 has that as well. So it's it's a good drone. There's some good features to it, and it's actually a really good price. I think I read that it's coming in at about $399, which is
not
relatively
awful.
inexpensive for a DJI price or a DJI product.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like DJI realizes that they kind of pulled the Tesla as far as their business planning and pricing goes. They went super high end, people who are going to buy it only for in sport and fun. And now they're starting to get their prices down to the average person. That's what it seems like to me. The last couple of drones I've seen come out from them have been either cheaper ones or like Go versions, or like that they're bringing stuff down out to the regular person's level now. Something that's a Christmas gift rather than I got to save up my life savings.
It's true. It's true. And the other nice thing about the app, and you can see it right there. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen there. There's 4 different buttons that you can press. Now the DJI Go 4 app has that for the Spark and the other Mavics as well. But you're seeing some of the effects of that right there. You're
looking
looking
how
at
cool that is.
Yeah, see how the drone is spinning around those people? So the drone is actually locked onto those people. They could be moving right now, and you're going to get the same effect.
Yeah.
And it's gonna helix around them where it's spinning around and also rising up at the same time. Then you have the circle effect. And again, if you're moving, it's going to follow you. The Spark did a great job of putting those features out there. The Mavic has always had that plus one up, right? And now it looks like the Mavic Mini is kind of following the Spark, where it's got some of the basic ones, very simple to use, one touch, walk away, and it'll create a really great shot for you.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm looking at the rocket one. I think this is cool. It like just shoots up into the sky. That is awesome. Droney. What is Droney?
So Droney is going to be where it backs up and goes and elevates at the same time. So it's kind of it starts low and it kind of goes up and out. I used the rocket one once here at the house with my Spark, and so that one basically goes straight up. You can see it. And then once it hit the top, I did a 360-degree panoramic with which is another feature of the Spark, and then I turned that into one of the mini worlds, which I thought was really, really cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I Dark Ash, your comments are funny. Oscar says he actually really likes this and thinks it's very cool, but he says it's a wonderful product. He says those shots are something nice. And then Dark Ash says amazing. And I don't know if that's sarcastic or not, but I'm looking at some of this stuff. Like, if you're going out, you're doing something athletic. Like, this is basically a GoPro on steroids, is what it seems like to me. A GoPro and a selfie stick on steroids. If that,
it's a flying GoPro. It's a flying GoPro.
But I'm just sitting there. That's awesome.
The neat thing about it, again, though, is that it's because it takes after the Mavic. You can see right here on this one. See how it's kind of tucked away in that bag over there. The wings fold in. Now, again, I'm going back to my Spark. These wings don't fold in, right? My propellers I can fold in, and that's as good as I can get it. But I can't fold these wings, and I can't get this into a pocket or a bag easily without breaking it. So that's unfortunate. The other thing that they did drop, in order to get under that 250-gram weight, and you can kind of see it here at the very front, right above the camera. You can see it's just a piece of plastic. Look on the Spark, and you can see that there's actually a sensor array there. So that sensor array, that sensor array is is the front-facing sensors that when it's on, it prevents you from hitting something, right? So it has two. It has the ones in the front, and then the Spark has the ones right there on the bottom, and you need two, right? So here they are. I'm trying to do this backwards. There you go. So the Mavic Mini does have the ones on the bottom, so that will give you assisted landing. So you can just hit the land button. It's going to come in. It's going to land itself. That's great. But it does not have sensors in the front. So I know it's hard to tell from the images on the screen here, but the two little black holes on either side of it are consistent with the Mavic look, and on the other Mavics, that is a sensor array. On this one, that seems to be some sort of a honeycomb filler, not necessarily a sensor array. So I don't see that it has that, and I think they had to drop that in order to get it under 250 grams.
Yeah. Well, and Oscar asked a question. He says it's portable, correct? And yes, this is very portable, and that's one of the things he was calling out earlier, is that it has all the limbs of it can fold inward to itself. That's what I'm trying to show right here. This isn't the best website for zooming. It kind of jumps all over the place, but right here you can see it folds up, and then there's a little strap that can go around it, a little casing for it, which is very nice. Keeps it from getting damaged a little bit. And says this lightweight propeller holder protects your fly cam propellers from being damaged during transportation. It can also be used to fasten your Mavic Mini to your bag or belt. So very secure is what we're starting to understand there. But yeah, I just want to make that call out for Oscar real quick.
Well, and here's the other really good thing. So I mentioned the 250 gram limit before you have to register with the FAA. Now in the US, when you register with the FAA, it's $5. It's not a big deal, right? But you do have to do that if it's 250 grams or more. In Canada, they recently passed a law that if it's 250 grams or more, you basically have to go and pass the written version of the pilot's license test in order to fly the drone. So It's not easy to fly a drone legally in Canada unless it's 249 grams or less. So Canadians are, I'm sure, very excited that they will be able to fly this drone legally without having to go through all that licensing, which is
nice. Yeah. And I'm noticing a few things here that seem really cool to me. So if you look on the left here, you have this 2-way charging hub, but it also looks like a pretty convenient carrying pack for your battery packs as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you get 3 batteries there, and then you also have this nice charging base, which is kind of like almost like a centerpiece to a table, like a gadget lover's house, like that's, if you go to their dining room table, a gadget lover, i.e. any one of us, and you go to their house, you probably find this in the middle of it, in the kitchen table. But that's actually kind of cool. And then they also have like a DIY kind of thing here where you can actually, either print or it looks like draw on it is what they want you to do, something onto there, and it can stick onto your Mavics. That way you can make your own thing. I put a Bad Taken Gaming logo on that, of course, but yeah. And then also some other little nifty things that they have for it. I'm curious as to how many of those things it comes with versus how much you have to buy. I'm assuming you have to buy a little battery pack thing. I don't know if it would come with this base. I guess it has to have a charging base, right? So,
well, so if it's true to DJI, they're going to have a base model that gives you a battery and the drone, and that is it. And you'll have a charging cable of some sort. And then they'll start having different packages, right? The Fly More bundle may give you the charge pack that allows you to charge 3 batteries at the same time, and then they'll give you the 3 batteries. They may have a style bundle of some sort that gives you that charging base. So there's what DJI does is they release, if you just want the base unit, you're going to get that for the $399, and then it goes up from there. And some of those include the remote. If you get the base without the remote, you may have to use your phone. That's how the Spark is. The standard bundle doesn't have a remote. It has a battery and a Spark and some propellers. That's all you get.
I'm noticing it. I looked at this in the box. You get the aircraft remote controller, battery, and just some cables and some extra things if they break. Nothing fancy. And I don't even see, it says essential accessories. It's got SD card, DIY kit, doesn't even have any of that other stuff. So it probably hasn't really come out yet. I would assume if this just came out like literally today, maybe they haven't launched. Oh wait, Fly combo. What's the combo for $100 more? What do you get in the box of this one?
Yeah, that's probably all the stuff there.
A carrying bag, the 2-way charging hub. But still, I want that centerpiece to my kitchen table. Where's my centerpiece?
Well, the Fly More bundle is always good because they give you tons of extra battery life, right? I got with mine, I got the Fly More bundle, and then I added 2 more batteries. So I've got 5 batteries for mine. That's the other thing about this. Mine Mine rates for about 23 minutes. A Spark, I get about 23 minutes of flying time. Well, okay, so here's the real deal, right? 23 minutes of flying time is in an area where there is no wind. You're going the same speed. It's about half speed. You're not going up. You're not going down. You're not doing anything. So basically, if a bird flies by, your 23 minutes goes down to 22. So, that's kind of the reality of it. This one starts you out at 30 minutes, right? Because it's so much lighter. The battery packs are smaller, but you get about 30 minutes of flight time. So you do get a little bit better flight time. That's nice, and with the Fly More bundles, you throw 5 or 6 batteries in that, and you're going to be out having hours of fun.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm just going to say it now. Everybody, you should just like combo your gifts together. And this is what I want for Christmas.
Well, I'll shout out to DJI. If you want a really good review on this, I got tons of DJI products. Yeah. I am happy to put a review of this thing out there.
That would be fantastic. However, I don't know that they're going to watch this particular video.
Well, maybe not.
All right, everybody get on Twitter. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Hashtag Mavoc Mini, and maybe they will. We'll see.
Hashtag Mavoc for bad tech. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, let's do a fundraising for that, right? Bad tech Mavoc.
Yes, and actually, speaking of fundraising, let's see real quick if I can get the right keyboard, of course. I just wanted to give a quick shout out. Didn't type this up before. There we go. So a couple of YouTubers started his biggest project ever, but it's the biggest collaboration ever to be seen on any platform thus far, any social platform especially. This is going to be some other people say they're going to start spamming Twitter, but this started out with Mr. Beast and what's his name?
Mark Rober.
Mark Rober. They started. They said we are going to
start with him.
Yeah. Well, they kind of did a collab video together to start the whole thing off. Planting 20 million trees. Now, one guy was going to try and do this. So, and during the video, they quickly realized that, you know what, maybe planting 20 million trees is not a thing that can happen for one particular. Wow, we really have to watch an ad while we're live. That's awful.
You don't have YouTube Red? What's going on here?
Not on my bad tech account.
Sorry.
And so, as you can see in the top right corner, they're going through. They're trying to get to 20 million trees, and they're like, "Oh, we're at 48." No, that's not 48 million. That's just 48. By the end of the video, they get up to like, let's see, it was like 5. Maybe go back.
It was a few hundred. It was like 300 or 400. Yeah.
Yeah, they got they got to 1600, which is fantastic. However, if you look, there are so many other YouTubers who are hopping in on this. Everyone's hopping in on this. So I'm going to plant our flag and start doing something like this. Let's get some donations. Anybody that wants to do any sort of donation to Bad Tech, next time you do, donate $1 to the Tree Foundation. I don't know exactly. It's they have a specific thing. If I go back to their the Tree Foundation,
Foundation.
Definitely they're up. Yeah, they're up to 2 million already, by the way. But 2 million trees planted and donated dollars as well, because every dollar is a tree planted. Go donate $1 to that foundation. Let's get some trees planted. Let's make a difference out there in the world, because that is a fantastic thing to do. This guy hit 20 million subscribers, and this is what he does as a, I want to give back to people. This is what he does as a, we hit 20 million. Let's do something fun. That's what this guy does. He gives back to the planet. He does something good with his status. Instead of maybe trying to do some sort of personal agenda, he's trying to save the world, quite literally. So I respect that tons. Go, Mr. Beast. Hopefully you get what your goal was, and hopefully someone donates $1 and we can help you out a little bit. But anyway,
so here's let me give you some additional information. So Rober put out a video on this thing as well. He was here when they were in fact, that's him right there in the center. So yeah. There he is right there. So here's the deal, right? So these guys are trying to plant 20 million trees. And if, for those of you who don't know, Mark Rober is he's the guy that made the glitter bomb porch thief package that exploded all over people, that went viral. He also made the world's giant the world's largest Nerf gun, that sort of thing. He has an amazing channel. He is just absolutely a great guy, and he is just a genius engineer that does all kinds of great stuff. And what you didn't see here is that Rober said, well, look, this is crap. We spent 8 hours trying to plant 300 trees. That's not going to do if we're going to get to 20 million. So he enlisted the help of his engineering skills and some friends, and you can see it right there. Some giant drones that can hold seed packs and drop seeds all over the place. Now, the three of us should recognize where he's at. This is actually in Oregon, not far from where we used to live. So he's dropping all these trees all over the place, these little seeds, and they're coming out in the form of pucks. So they're not just floating seeds all over the place because squirrels are going to eat those. So they're in these pucks. The pucks are like these nutrient bombs that hit the ground with these seeds in them. And then as soon as it rains, they kind of melt into the ground before the squirrels can get at them and that sort of thing. And, what they do is they send a scout drone up to sort of scan the environment first and understand where the best spots for the trees are going to be. And then the computer coordinates 3 more drones with these seed bombs in them. And they go over the whole thing. You can see how big these drones are. They're huge.
They're huge.
So these drones are going to work in tandem to go and cover acres and acres and acres on a single battery pack from each of these drones before they have to come back in and refresh the battery and restock up on tree seeds. So this is an amazing thing. I totally agree with it. Donate $1, get a tree, put your name on the thing. It's hashtag Team Trees, and I put it out. It's also teamtrees.org that you can go to, and Rober put that out there so that people can donate through that as well. So definitely do it. Worthwhile cause. Trees are our life, right? Because they without trees we wouldn't breathe. So there you go. More trees.
Absolutely. Well, and I noticed he also got some other YouTubers. Oh, Nitron, thank you so much. I'm actually going to highlight this comment that he made real quick. If you guys want to go and do a donation, do something, let us know, give us a screenshot. If anybody does a donation, throw it up on Discord. I will pop it up on the screen so we can all take a look and say thank you. But just a fantastic call out there, Nitron. He's actually got the website there for you guys if you want to go ahead and do that. But yes, I think that's fantastic. Without trees, we don't live. So it's kind of like bees. Without bees, we're gone. And water. We wouldn't be anywhere with water. That's how basic these things are. And Dave, I'm sorry, your camera's getting completely cut off. There you are.
I've been doing it all day. I've been messing around with it.
I know. I've been trying to only do ones that cut like a portion of it off, and I watch you kind of bob your head up a little bit. But to condense on time a little bit, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, Dave, I want you to take over on this one. Tell me about this game. I've heard about it. I've seen some things about it, but I want to know what you think about it. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, at first when I heard about it, I wasn't really all that impressed. Obviously, EA is not exactly I'm not exactly a fan of them for the most part. I mean, they do create some good games, but a lot of times it's just stuff. But I've seen a lot of gameplay videos, especially coming out in the past week, and it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. It looks like it's kind of a mix between like a story-driven, some of the old BioWare games mixed in with a little bit of Force Unleashed with the lightsaber play. And it's really kind of come under the radar. They haven't done a whole lot of, I mean, obviously they've done marketing for it, but it hasn't been big like Battlefront 2 was, for example, or anything like that. And it's a single player experience, which I know, at least for me being a computer nerd, that's one of the things I really enjoy as far as, the old ones like the Academy games and a lot of like those type of things. So I've heard a lot of like different things about it. I've heard a lot of good things, and it's really going to be an interesting to see how it plays out, to see if it's worth the weight in gold, so to speak. But yeah, a story-driven Star Wars game, I'm all on board for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a long time since we've really had a good story-driven. I mean, look at this gameplay trailer. This looks like it would be a little bit of Force Unleashed. Oh, snap. Yep. He slowed it down. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think there's some really cool stuff. I just hope that it's got a good enough story to keep you in. The problem with like the Force Unleashed games, you were so overpowered. The story was just pretty much you killing people. There was no story. Okay, there was a little bit, but it wasn't like, it wasn't gonna hold me in playing multiple different times. I would play it once and call it good. That's about it. With this one, I hope there's more to it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, this one's interesting because it comes in right after Revenge of the Sith, right? So that's the sort of where it fits in the timeline. So that sort of lends itself. This is the first one that I know of that really hits a part of the timeline, right? The rest of them are like, well, it's kind of a little of this and a little of that. This one's coming in during an actual timeline, which, like you said, Brad, kind of does lend itself to better storyline, which is kind of cool. But I think EA maybe missed the mark a little bit on this, and here's why I say that. Not because of the game, right? I'm excited about the game. They're going to launch on November 15th. Well, we already know that just a day or two later, Stadia comes out. It's not launching on Stadia. Google and EA could have absolutely crushed the Stadia launch if they'd have made this exclusive for 2 weeks on Stadia. Yeah. So that would have been a really, really cool. This could have been like their flagship launch game. And they've got some good ones out there, but this would have been an amazing launch.
I'm getting an Uncharted vibe, by the way, with some of these things that they're doing. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's definitely more adventure than it's been. And that's kind of why I'm excited about it because, a first person, like we were saying, Force Unleashed with a little bit of adventure elements and some other stuff. I mean, I don't see how we can go wrong with it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I agree 100% with what you're saying as well. I think that if they were to, excuse me, if they were to partner with Google on this, and I know Google's a new platform, maybe that's the scare. Maybe that's why they don't want to make it exclusive. But at least throw it on there. Say, hey, come and grab this on Google. We're on Google. Even just saying something as simple as that, I think would be a huge win for both platforms here. And I think it would help. But then again, with the drama that happened in Battlefield 2, Google might not want to associate themselves right now.
Yeah,
so
maybe I was going to say that's the other thing too. Is I think this has kind of been flying under the radar specifically because EA is more about subscription-based games. They're more about loot boxes and stuff like that. And this is going to have none of it. So I think in some aspects, I'm wondering if they want this to fail so they can go back to the old, we tried a single-player game. None of you guys bought it. We're going to go back to cranking out Battlefields for you.
And I'm just looking at this thinking, dude, this is awesome. Like, this looks genuinely awesome. He's holding up a lightsaber to walk through a completely dark place and having to navigate through obstacles. If nothing else, this game, if there's a difficulty level to it that you can kind of make it go up a little bit more, it's going to be fun just trying to, it's like a Mario game. Hey, you're starting with this. You have to get across this barrier with only one jump, extra jump that you get. And you fail 75 times, but you win one time. And that one time is what makes it worth playing the entire game.
And that's when you go to bed for the night because you just spent hours.
Yeah.
and then, but the benefit here is you also get to murder people with lightsabers. Come on.
Yeah, but you know what? This is the type of game that really, if you want to see the dad explosion of frustration, this is the type of game that's gonna get you there, right? Now you really want to make me excited about this. It's going to come out on the 15th, right? On Xbox, PlayStation, and Windows PC. You really want to pique my interest? Yeah, Stadia might do it. Oculus Quest, you put it there. Now I'm really interested.
Yep. And just where people don't know, we did cover that last week. But anyway, Dave, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say the other thing with it being a single player experience that I'm kind of curious to see if it happens or not. I'm wondering if we'll have like mods and stuff for it because it won't be an online service, because it will be a single player experience. There's a good chance there'll be mods, there'll be add-ons and things like that. EA is not exactly known for supporting that, but anytime you get a single player game that has this kind of something in it, you usually get a group around it that wants to develop for it. So I'll be curious to see how that pans out too.
Yeah.
Did you see? So I've seen a couple of really cool things here. He threw a droid in the beginning of this at the stormtrooper there and knocks him out. I thought that was cool. And then at the very end here, he slows the bullet down like Kylo Ren does, pulls him in front of it, and just slaps him into the bullet. Like, dude, that's cool stuff, man.
It looks pretty cool.
Like you can be creative with that. That allows the user to say, this is how I want to finish people off, you know? But oh, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. It's it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I probably will pre-order this one and wait for it to come out. There's a lot of good stuff coming out here in the next few weeks.
Christmas
I
season.
hope it goes on sale.
Yes, indeed.
Goes on sale before it's even out.
I know.
You can come on over and play it, Brand. Oh, there'll be no stealing. I'm going to download this. I'm not going to buy a disc, right?
Yep. Yep. Well, and now we're going to talk about a couple of new games as well. And Dark Ash, let me know what you think about some of these. So we have Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're going to be covering both of those on the next subject. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to start with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So this is one that I can speak to a little bit. I think everybody here can speak to a little bit, right? This takes Infinity Ward and Activision, the original people of the original Modern Warfare game, and says, hey, let's make a new one, but yet let's make it new and improved at the same time. So some things I've seen that I really like that they have multiplayer. Guess what? It's a Call of Duty game. You're going to have multiplayer. They have campaign. We'll see if it's any good. I don't know. Call of Duty, it's either hit or miss for me. Spec Ops is back. Now, this is what's going to be nice. Intense 4-player cooperative missions. If anybody remembers from the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare's, this was a huge deal. This was awesome. This was fantastic. I mean, this is what kept a lot of people playing the game after they had gone through 8 seasons of some sort of, multiplayer online stuff and beat the campaign 4 times. But anyway, this is going to be a good game, at least. I'm excited to see it and actually play it. I've seen some people play it. It looks like it's going to be more than good, but I haven't played it yet, so I want to play it before I judge it. Anyway, Dad and Dave, do you guys have any other comments about it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've been watching a lot of video on this, and it does seem like it's a little bit of a throwback to some of the earlier ones. It's easier, or not easier, it's harder to kill people in this, so you have a little more health. There's a little, along with the advanced functions that they brought out, from then, they brought back a lot of the map designs that they've had before, or similar map designs, not so much a 3-lane system, but more of a free flow. The co-op campaigns are obviously some of my favorite stuff. There's also some like 2v2 matches, which a lot of people are playing and enjoying. So it does, I haven't been interested in the Call of Duty in a while, and this is one of the ones I'm like, okay, I might be able to get back into this then. Between the co-op modes, the 2v2 modes, and the regular I'm going to get my butt kicked mode. It seems like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's been a while since I played a good Call of Duty, and I think nowadays I probably need to figure out if I can join a 40 and over server so I don't get my butt kicked by all you younger guys out there. But that is what it is, and this one looks pretty good. The graphics seem to be upgraded. The story, or the scenery and the maps and stuff seem to be a little bit better. I haven't watched as much, I don't think, as you have, Dave, but I got to tell you, for a while there, the Call of Duty series, I mean, you might as well get a picture of a horse and go up and kick it, because you're beating a dead horse with this thing. It just keeps coming out with the same thing over and over. This one does seem to be a bit of an improvement, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of it.
Yeah. Well, what I like that they say here is engage your way. It's been a long time since in a game it's not just been a linear run down a map, this is how it's done kind of thing. But it looks like they might allow you to actually do something the way you want to do it.
Yep, that's exactly what I've been hearing. Is it's definitely a little more free flow and a little more open. And I did not, because you'd mentioned it, the campaign mode. I've heard a lot of good things about that too. So I haven't played it myself quite yet, but I'll probably be looking at this one pretty soon. But I've been watching a lot of video of it, and I'm pretty excited for it.
And one thing I can never figure out: modern warfare, but in the campaign modes, right? The first thing you get before you can upgrade is an M1. That's not a modern gun. Why is that on here?
Yeah,
like AR-15 at least, right? You got to get something good. So anyway.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be good. I'm hoping I can get it around the holidays. And we'll play it. We'll do some reviews on it when we get it. So keep an eye out for that. I'll let you guys know in the Discord when I do get it, what I think of it, and all that stuff. Now we'll move on to its little brother, Call of Duty Mobile. Now, Dave and Dad, have you guys had any experience with these?
I don't do mobile.
No, I don't either.
Okay.
I'm not sure what they're going for with this, but
I can tell you exactly what they're going for. So this is actually a very
school.
Cool, pretty much, and it's a very cool addition. Though, I mean, think about this. Even me, right? I am 26. I work at I work in a building where I have 30-minute breaks. So, I go on my break. I can play this game on my 30-minute break, at least one little game, and it keeps me in the loop. So when I'm playing it on my console, I can take it on the go with me. It's just a different game overall, though. So different stats, different things to keep up with. So it doesn't ever intrude with your main gameplay if you just, have to go back to work real quick. But also, it is genuinely a lot of fun to play some of these little mobile games. Like look at World of Tanks Blitz, World of Warships Blitz. They all have their own versions of stuff like this that are all phone based, and they're very good graphics. They look just like you're seeing in these photos here, and they're fun to play. They're not amazing. They're just fun to play. They're time wasters, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's about all you're getting out of these. Where a console game, they expect you to sit down all day and all night and play it. So that's what this game is. That's who it's targeting. The millennials, and the younger kids, as well as some of the older kids who've been playing these games forever and just want to play. Now, let's see. We had Dark Ash. I said, what did you think of it? He says, level 22 died to level 23. Unfair. I think he's saying the levels in matchmaking would be nice. There it is. Okay. That I can understand because when you don't have levels in your matchmaking, that makes it kind of difficult. But with that being said, you do get in and win a lot, especially right now. If you hop in the game, the first couple of games you play, you're going to win 33 and you're going to die, or you're going to kill 33 people. You're going to die once. That's pretty much how the game's going to go for the first. Nobody's good at this game yet. And now,
all right, let me just expand on that. Here's how this is going to go. Right on my Xbox when I play Call of Duty, and I'm getting my butt kicked by a 5-year-old. I can rage quit and lose a $30 controller. Yeah. On the mobile phone, I'm going to throw $1,000 phone across the room, and I'm going to really be out some bucks. That's not a good idea.
Probably not the game for you. I will say I've heard like PUBG, Fortnite, their mobile versions are pretty solid. So, I mean, it's definitely pushing in that market. I even seen that they had a 100-man battle royale with this. So I'm sure they're trying to push into that market a little bit more of the battle royale type stuff. And it's after watching some of these videos, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm not much of a mobile gamer myself, but it would be interesting to be able to do some of this stuff like on my lunch break or something like that. So I might look into it.
Yeah, and I think the only problem with this is it's a auto shooter. So like when you aim at somebody, it shoots for you. Now you can turn it off, but everybody else has automatically got it on auto shoot. Yeah. So there are some things to it that I don't think are great for gameplay, but you got to do something on mobile because mobile is not intuitive. Brandon, you should do a live stream of Call of Duty Mobile. You know what? Why not? I definitely can do that. I have the phone to do it that'll run it. One of these days, I should get around to it.
Brandon, we could do it, but you may have to label that one TVMA for my rage quitting.
we all hop on. Dad just leaves randomly. He's just gone. What happened to him? His phone's probably against the wall.
Just a video of the wall on the wall.
Whole slew of cuss word come out just before the signal goes dead.
Yeah. Yeah. That one will be a MA one for sure. I'm just looking at some of these little trailer clippings that they got on here, just kind of showing it to you guys. But this is fun. It's a good game. I think I think them coming out with their main game and then also coming out with something like this one after another. I think that's awesome because right now you could be completely enthralled in Call of Duty games. I mean, I could be playing it at home. I can pack up, go to work, and then play it at work. And maybe get home, play it on my phone before I go to bed without disturbing my family in the living room, all that good stuff. I'm just thinking I think they've done a really good job with the game overall. I think it could use some improvements with some little glitches here and there. Nothing major. And Dark Ash says, I can carry you in a game.
Probably true.
Oh, Dave, we'll all have to get on there and let Dark Ash carry us. But
well, there is one piece of this that I think really most people are overlooking, right? So Call of Duty is coming out. Activision put this out on mobile platforms, right? You can get on your iPad, you can get on your phone. Let me think now. There's something else that's coming out that's also compatible with mobile. Oh, right, Stadia, right? So this is the theory here is that there's going to be as many people looking to play this on a small device as they are looking to play it on a big device. The difference here is that Activision had to create a specific mobile version versus the version on the television. And so when you put it on an Xbox or something like that, you're going to have a different crowd of people you're going to be playing with. But again, it lends credibility that there's a mobile market out there for good, high quality games that you can play. Like you said, on your lunch break, or during when you're supposed to be taking a test at school, or whatever the case is. There's the market out there, and that is something that Stadia is trying to tap into. The difference is going to be you don't need two different versions. You're not going to play with two different crowds. You're going to play the same game with the same people, just on a different size screen. So that lends some credibility to Google's theory that the mobile gaming and portable gaming platforms are gaining in popularity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just what's impressive to me, and I know this isn't a very good photo, but the graphics on these little games on the phone. I mean, they're awesome. That's fantastic. I love to see that.
The other thing that's cool here is if it works on a mobile phone, then maybe this is a game that might come out for the Oculus Quest too. And if that's the case, then that could be pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a stepping stone that we might see. Right now they're coming out at the same time, but eventually maybe they just come out with one game.
That's the other thing I was thinking. It would be cool if there was maybe in the mobile versions you can unlock stuff, or you just wanted to finish this up, yada yada yada. If they built a real ecosystem out of it. I played a couple of games in the past, like GTA 5, for example, where you can use the mobile app to do different things in game. Not all the game, obviously, but it kind of builds onto itself. I'm actually kind of surprised they just did a completely separate game and didn't kind of build into their main one. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see where the gaming industry is going now.
Yeah, baby steps, right? Baby steps. This is the first step. We'll probably see, like you're saying, Dave, you'll probably see that ecosystem coming out soon. And some of these platforms are setting themselves up. Microsoft with their Xbox, platform, and Sony with the PlayStation, they better keep up or they're going to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see on the screen, but this dude right here, he done.
I don't know, man. Looks like there's a sniper up on the tower there that might be taking.
Well, he's also got a guy behind him shooting at him too. So he's I mean, he's done. He dead. He gone. Goodbye. You ran. You did stupid. You did not good. But with that being said, that's the show. That's what we have for you guys. That's everything. So with that being said, I'll open it up. If anybody in the comments, anybody that's watching, let us know. You want to talk about something? Let's talk about it now. This is the time. Go back and maybe you missed something you wanted to see. You saw the thumbnail. Let me know. We can talk about it for a few minutes. This is community time. So I'll spend a few minutes here. Let's see. We have Dark Ash, who does say in 2020, Apex Legends on mobile. Man, that would be great. All these games coming out with the mobile variants, especially the console games, I think is awesome. And I think it's good for the whole industry of gaming. Not necessarily Microsoft or Sony, but they've had a dominant on the consoles forever. So it's nice to have more options to play your video games.
But I don't know about that. If that means dumbing down games, I'm kind of not sure if I'm cool with it. Like you said, the whole pointing your gun and it automatically firing, for a mobile game, that's fine. But if that's how games are going, that might be trouble for me.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes some of the interest out of some of the different types of gameplay you can do, right? These Call of Duty games, I'm kind of the one that likes to sneak around, camp someplace, and wait to pick my shot, right? Because I can't move as fast as some of the 5-year-olds out there that kill me. So, you can't, if they're automatically going to shoot for me, I can't select the shot to take, right? And that's a problem.
Yep, you just don't aim at them.
Yeah, you just point up a little bit. You know, it's interesting though, because I think, what was it, the Mario one that came out, Mario Run, I think it was what it was. I was a little weirded out by the fact that you constantly moved in that too, but that turned out to be a pretty fun game. So it really depends on how they, or Super Mario Run, it really depends on how they implement them. Because you know, like that one, I know the Super Mario Dash, I think it is the kart game. Other than the fact it's monetization horrible. They have like little assist things too, where it helps you kind of go move, or there, I think you don't turn. I think it turns automatically, but you do everything else. So they have to do some of that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily a bad thing. The Mario Run was fun. Some of these other ones are fun. Some of them, it might be a little taxing. So it just depends on where they take it. As long as they keep like console games, and mobile games, and maybe do a little bit of overlap, I'm cool with that. But once I start getting auto shoot on my console, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever go that far. I think they'll keep it, because I mean, even when you have these games that cross over, most of the time you're playing with whatever platform you're on, people. So you'll play with Xbox people if you're on Xbox, you play with mobile if you're on mobile, and they'll cross over only when you want to, but then someone's at a disadvantage, so they don't usually. But you know, at the same time, you can. The option is there. In this Mario Kart game, I actually want to play this. I haven't installed. I just haven't played it yet.
I don't know if I would bother with it. It's they're monetizing everything off of it, which is really disappointing for Nintendo, because usually they're pretty good with stuff like that. But there's been a lot of negative feedback because of that, like character unlocks and all that kind of stuff. And there's been a lot of little shady stuff. I would definitely recommend looking into it before you play it, because I was interested at first too, and then I got turned off real quick.
Yeah, I was curious. I was like, maybe Nintendo didn't actually make it. Maybe they just like gave it to a third party, and that's Nintendo. What they did. But it says Nintendo right there. That's unfortunate.
And for me, being such a Nintendo fanboy and not having a Switch or anything like that, being able to access those via mobile was kind of my bread and butter. And like I said, I liked Run so much, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be where I can get back into the kart racing games. And they've kind of turned me off on that whole thing. So,
when you know, kart racing, it sounds stupid, but it's awesome. Like,
especially for a mobile platform. I mean, you think about it. You, Scott, all of us could be playing a mobile, Mario Kart on a phone right now, and it'd be awesome times if it wasn't for the fact that it was all. They monetized the snot out of it and turned it into something that's just kind of.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but. Let's see. Dark Ash says, I'd rather play Mario Kart on the Switch, and I have to agree.
Yeah.
That's where that's where I'm going to play it if I'm going to play it.
I was hoping it would be a Mario, because the Switch isn't super duper powerful as far as the console is concerned. So I was hoping that they would make maybe a slightly scaled down version of it on the phone, but they did something completely different. And yeah, I'm not super impressed.
Fair enough. But yeah, well, that's pretty much
we got talking about Switch. Wow.
I know. I was going to say I was going to do the Nintendo Switch Lite, but I decided not to. That seems like a good topic that we might be able to cover one of these days. But with that being said, we're pretty much out of time. We ran a few minutes over. We started a few minutes late, so I figured that was okay. But does anybody else have anything else to add?
Nothing for me. I think it's a good conversation today.
Good talk.
Yeah,
good talk. Good talk with bad tech.
Good topics. That's right.
But yeah, so with that being said, I will have to bid everybody a farewell. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're wondering why you should, go ahead and watch this video. Just click the red bar and slide it backwards and watch back and see if we're worth subscribing to. If you liked us, like it. If you didn't, you know what to do. If you have any questions, let me know. You can reach us at the Discord in the bottom of the description below. We're always there, always available, someone to answer some question for you. If nothing else, I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a fantastic day. It is time to end. Have a good one.